Hi, I'm Grace Speroni, and welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. I am delighted to have with me today Carla Diloreto. She is the branch officer for Freedom Credit Union in Ludlow. And then we have the AVP of Commercial Lending, Andrew Sullivan. Welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Delighted. So can we talk first about like the history of the credit union and how you two came to join them and to partner together and do such great things in the community?
Sure. So it started as the Telephone Workers Credit Union, and actually last year we celebrated our 100-year anniversary. And it over the past 100 years, obviously, it has acquired a few other smaller credit unions, and today it has become Freedom Credit Union. So it's a lot of changes over the past 100 years, and then it has become what it is today.
A lot of growth.
Yeah.
So that's fabulous.
A lot of growth, yeah. So we service the 4 counties of Western Massachusetts, and we also expanded recently the last couple of years down to Connecticut, Tolland, and Hartford County. So we service members all up and down Western Mass and Northern Connecticut now. So when I say service, they qualify to be a member of the credit union, and then we can lend money and also take deposits as well. So we're continuing to grow, and we look forward to growing, further down to Connecticut as well.
Our big tagline is that it's unbanking. So we want our members to feel welcomed, and that it's not that traditional bank where you walk in and it's very that cold atmosphere. It's a warm, welcoming feeling. All decisions are made at the local level. When they meet with with us, it's all the decisions are made. They come locally. They meet with Andrew. Andrew speaks with our president. It's all local decision making. So it's that unbanking feeling is what we tell them.
So, and I'm smiling about that because it resonates. It's almost verbatim what Renee from Total Image Salon said. And it was so exciting because she had, when she and I met and they were becoming members, she shared how easy the whole experience was. Like she, she opens up this great spot and she's had a few hiccups, right? So she kept having to redo some things, check off the box. And she said, but her whole experience with Freedom was just so easy. She kept waiting for something to like just not come through or not to work out. Yeah. But she said it was so easy doing business with you, and it was a great experience for her. And then we're at the ribbon cutting and you guys came, and I thought that was just so awesome. You saw it from beginning to the ribbon cutting, and you're still there with her.
Yeah, she's a true example of how business members come into the credit union. So she was a referral to myself through another member. Came in, met with me. She was super frantic, super nervous. I calmed her down, immediately introduced her to Andrew. Andrew put her mind at ease. He kind of took over the transaction at that point. She had a super great experience. I kind of worked hand in hand with Andrew. Him and his team are fantastic in our commercial department. They made it super simple, super easy. And then part of it is introducing her to the chamber. I told her about how great you guys are and about the ribbon cutting process and how wonderful that is to become a member. And it just worked, and Andrew can kind of speak to about the lending process.
Yeah, so for construction loans, obviously, as Renee knows now, there is a lot of hiccups. So, as a lender, I try to make it as easy as possible on the financing side. And it's good. It's always good to hear that Renee talks highly of the credit union and the whole process. So that's kind of makes it all work. That when we get to the ribbon cutting, and she took a big sigh of relief and is now doing very well. Yeah. So we're happy.
Well, and I think for a lot of businesses, when you've got to go in and I need money. I'm at this stage. I can't grow without some financing, or I want to get involved in a project. It's kind of scary. You can psych yourself out. Oh, I don't want to go talk to the bank. They're not, we all have these preconceived notions of how the conversation will go and so forth. And to have someone say, hey, this was a great experience for me. It worked. And none of those, scary things that we get stuck in our heads.
Yep.
You were actually there to help her make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think, we tell people we're real people too. We live in the real world and we understand real life experiences. And I think sitting in on some of the meetings with Andrew, he is very to the facts. He looks at the financials. He doesn't give a lot of fluff. He's like, okay, I need X, Y, and Z. He is very to the point. He answers phone calls promptly. And I think from listening to the members from the opposite side, when they're working with Andrew, I think that's the biggest thing is he's responsive, he's quick, and he's to the point on exactly what he needs. There's not a lot of fluff there, and I think that is the biggest thing. Renee is just one example of the many customers Andrew has worked with, and they all say the same thing.
Yeah, and not to just single out ERC5 members, but I know you have many more, but Vanished Valley was another success story for you.
Sure, yeah.
And of course, the project here in Wilbraham with Scantic Brewery and the Pafumis, like everyone's talking about that, and it looks fantastic. You drive by and it's like, wow, look at it. It's really going up and it's just beautiful. Sure. And how exciting you did all of that.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. It's always exciting when you drive by, like you said, and more progress has happened. And I know the town is very excited for it. I've heard a lot of good feedback from the local community, even people outside of Wilbraham. I know we're very excited at Freedom Credit Union for the project to come to completion and for everybody to enjoy Scantic River and Pafumis and enjoy some of the apartments upstairs. So yeah, it's good. It's a really good project, and we're really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Yeah. And something that just today on the way here that resonated for me was that this is great because there's subcontractors have got their banners, their logos out there, and it's like this is what doing business local is all about because you've got local folks out there. Bronco Electric comes to mind. He's got his banner there, and there's several others. But you're keeping the community engaged. You're keeping them working. You're providing jobs. So it goes on and on. These are beautiful projects, and it's great to see. But it's great to see that others are also benefiting from this.
Yeah, and that was another point from the borrower wanting to keep everything local. So they made it a point to reach out to all the local contractors and really keep this entire project within Western Mass. And I think they've done a great job at that. So they're very excited.
Absolutely. Again, I didn't pay attention to it in all of my drives back and forth because I'm always doing updates. Oh, look, you got to drive by and see what's happening today. But on the way in, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? Here's another added plus to all of this.
Sure, yeah.
It's doing business locally.
I can't tell you how many people thought it was going to be a Freedom Credit Union branch when I first put my sign up there. Yeah. It said financed by Freedom, but you know, so many people reached out like, oh, that's exciting to be a new branch there. Yep. But it's definitely a great thing for the town of Wilbraham.
Oh, it is. And you're right. Everyone is very excited about it. So another piece that doesn't have to do with lending, but I think it's equally as important, is your involvement in the community. You're both very much involved. You sit on different committees and boards. Carla's very active with the chamber. And I think it's fantastic when we have events. You guys are always there. There's always a representative.
Yeah.
So
I think we both really have a big passion. I think we're both big philanthropic people. I know Andrew does a lot with a couple of different charities, myself included. And I think we live in these towns. We work in these towns. This is where, we lay our head at night. And I think that we chose to work at Freedom Credit Union. We both come from different banking backgrounds. We worked at different institutions, and we both chose to come to Freedom because of the like-mindedness. Freedom has a big draw to support the communities that they're in and wanting to give back to the communities that they're in. As a credit union, every week we donate to different charities throughout the year. The employees do as a whole. It fosters that environment that we personally have a passion for, and I think that that's important, working somewhere that equally has the same passion that you personally do. So those things that we want to do, it's not work, it's what we love to do. And I think that that's important, to work somewhere that supports what you love. So when we're at those events, it's not work for us. This is what we truly love to do. We want to see our communities be successful.
Yeah, and I think that is I enjoy working with you immensely. And I think we both share the same passion, right? This is where we live. We want to see everyone succeed because successful businesses mean vibrant communities. So it goes full circle.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic to have you on board.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's not just the ERC5 either. It's all the local chambers,
Yes.
Springfield. I'm sitting as the chairman of the West of the River Chamber, so we do so many collaborations throughout the year together. We work alongside YPS. It's always, we're always collaborating together in order to, put together some great networking opportunities. So it's exciting times.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is. And I think that may have been one of the first places we met was when we collaborated with the West of the
Yes.
River.
Yeah,
I'd only
absolutely.
been here a few months, but Robin is amazing. And you're
Yeah.
right. There's so much opportunity for us all to collaborate and to grow our communities. And if we're all doing well, it just reflects all around.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it was great having you here with us. And if our viewers want more information, maybe there's an entrepreneur out there who's ready to take the next step or's got this great dream, how can they get in touch with you to get more information about the next steps in talking with you?
Sure, they can go right to our website at freedom.coop, C-O-O-P. They can find us on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn at Carla Diloreto, or on our emails, which is both on our LinkedIn page.
Yep. So, you can, right on the Freedom Credit Union website, you can look up other information on deposits, commercial loans. You can even apply for, all types of commercial loans or personal loans. So I think the best place to start would be the
website.
The website, yeah.
And then scroll through there.
Yeah, and check it out. And, we have plenty of information for everybody.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And our viewers can certainly come to our networking events and connect with you there.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be there.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was such a pleasure having you with us.
Sure.
Thank you so much for
very
having
much,
us, Grace. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And thank you for joining us for today's podcast. If you would like to be a guest here with us at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham, please go to our website at ERC5.com and you can fill out the form there and submit it and be the next guest here with us. Thank you so much for joining us.